Good day to you all. It's Krista from Davidson, and I am having a lovely day on my day off on Wednesday, whatever the date is, November the 20th, I believe. And today I just wanted to talk about a little bit more about realities and maybe push a little buttons and bring a little more awareness into your world. And just ask you, are you living in your reality or are you living in somebody else's reality? How many of us actually live in our own reality? And that might sound totally bizarre to you, but if you think about it, how many of your choices are you making for you? Or how many of your choices are you making for other people based on what you think other people want you to do or be or say? And how many of the things that you do are so that you aren't judged by others? Like, I'll tell you that most of my life I have been a certain way because I wanted people to like me. So I acted a certain way and I said certain things and I didn't say certain things because I wanted people to like me. And I've always been, I've never really been a cliquey person. I've always just kind of been friends with everyone, which I love. And I wouldn't want to change that about myself because I like all sorts of people. But I also was very many people around all these different people. So in certain situations I acted a certain way, and when I was around other people, I was a different me. I was always a different version of me. So in reality, I was and still am, I'm working on it, but have lived in everybody else's reality. So how many of us actually live in our own reality? Like, really think about that, because we don't often choose for us. So I've written down a bunch of questions that I just wanted you to ponder if you are willing and able to. If I were choosing my reality, would be the first. If I were choosing my reality, what would I choose? So if I were choosing for me and I wasn't choosing because all the reasons, so that I wouldn't be judged, so that I wouldn't hurt someone's feelings, because that's the way I've always done it, even though I never thought to ask myself why I do it, just because that's what you do. So if I were choosing my reality, what would I choose? Just a question to think about. And what possibilities am I avoiding with the uncomfortable? Am I choosing? What possibilities am I avoiding with the uncomfortable I am choosing? So if you have discomfort, this is from Gary Douglas in Blessed Possibilities. And he says, if you have discomfort, it's only an awareness of what you have not been willing to receive. If you have discomfort, it's only an awareness of what you have not been willing to receive. So what I've been finding lots, because I've been trying, that word, anyways, pot and pock, all that. I have been discovering with myself that in becoming me and living from my reality, I've had a lot of discomfort. And what that for me has felt like is a lot of anxiety in my chest. So I'm in a situation and we're having some sort of discussion, and all of a sudden I know I want to say something. I want to contribute to the conversation, but the old me wouldn't, because of all the reasons, because I don't want to be judged, because I don't want others to think a certain thing, like think that I'm, rude or heartless or whatever the reasons that we have. So I would just not say anything, and that has been me living in my comfortable world. But over the last several months, I've been feeling like this anxious feeling, and to me what that is like a nudge, like someone's kicking me in the butt, and that person is me, and just begging me to say what's on my mind because it's my truth, speaking my truth. And so when I feel that anxious feeling, I remind myself to push down my barriers. And those barriers are all your old points of views, all your beliefs, all your things that keep you stuck in the current reality, not your reality, but the reality that you are stuck in. So when I feel this feeling in my chest, I just push down my barriers and I expand and make myself bigger than that, pushing beyond, like to the room, to the country, to the earth and beyond, into the universe, and making yourself bigger in every direction and allowing yourself new possibilities, new choices, which brings more awareness, which then you can create more choices, more possibilities, bringing more awareness. So when I'm feeling anxious, pushing down those barriers and expanding, and then just saying what I want to say. Like, God, we hold so much in. No wonder we have so many pains and stress and anxiety and disease that plays out in our body, because we hold so much shit inside of ourselves. For what reason? Like, don't you love when people speak their mind, even if you don't agree with it? Like, don't you respect the people that can just be them and say whatever the hell they want to say? Because I know I do. And like, I am blown away half the time and be like, oh, I wish I could be like that. Well, you know what? You can. All you have to do is drop your barriers and move beyond the uncomfortableness. And as soon as you do, it's like every time I feel that anxious feeling and I then push myself and I do it anyways, it is like such a relief after. It's like that uncomfortable feeling only lasts for the second I keep it in my mind. And if you keep it in your mind, it becomes more uncomfortable and never goes away, because, well, I mean, I guess it does go away because you are creating this comfortable world that you live in where you don't have to speak your mind. And it's like, it's actually so bizarre, because we want to live in this comfortable world in which we do everything that we've always done, which creates no results, which makes us feel like something's missing because we're not being us. But we want to keep this, we want to stay in our comfortable little world because it's easier, but it's not easier. Like, it's actually so crazy, and we are so insane. Because we don't want to do the things we want to do. We want to stay in this like little bubble of a world, in our little shoebox Kleenex world that we're in. And because it's easier, but it's not easier because we're not happy. So what do? What if you're willing to leave that all behind and make a new choice? And not judge yourself for what you've been doing, but just make a new choice and drop your barriers. And when you like have this urge, this need to say something, say it. Like, and what I've found is when I do, I'm more of me, and I haven't died from it. I haven't like been shot down by it. Have people judged me? Probably. But did they judge me? Have they judged me anyways, no matter what I did? Probably, but that's willing to receive all of it and not let it stick to you, not have a point of view about it. It's like being that rock in the stream, and you have a couple choices where you can let everything stick to you and be carried away in that stream of water with everybody else's reality, everybody else's points of views, or you can be that rock in the stream and you can just allow everybody to have their judgments, everyone to have their points of views, but you don't take any of that as significant, and you just are an interesting point of view. It's like, well, interesting point of view, you have that point of view, but you don't let it be significant. You don't let it stick to you. You don't have to align with what the person is saying, and you don't have to reject what they are saying and put your barriers up. If you just put your barriers down and let it all flow through you, you can just move in and around all of these people's points of views and realities and just keep choosing and keep having new possibilities and new choices, which are bringing more awareness into your life and what else is possible. So, what have you made so vital about comfort that you would give up all your awareness in order to keep it? So, becoming aware isn't like, well, it isn't comfortable. But would you be willing to be more aware so that you don't have to be stuck where you're not happy, where you're feeling like something is missing in your life? What would it take for you to be willing to be you and create your own reality? So what would I like to change or create today that would be fun for me? And we don't have to make any of it significant. None of it has to be like this big thought out thing. It all goes down to, again, what would you like the energy of your life to be? Not what would you like how's it going to look and what's the bigger picture and how am I going to get there? We don't that's not up to us. We don't have to make a huge plan and have it all drawn out for us, like having a to-do list. No, we just simply have to ask, what would I like the energy of my life to be? And start pulling that into your life and start following the signs that are showing up in your universe and acting on them and choosing and making a new choice. And something comes along and you're like, is this what I've been asking for showing up how I didn't expect? And what is this? What can I do with it? Can I change it? And if so, how? And so something comes along and I'm like, okay, well, this is showing up in my life. I'm gonna choose this. And what awareness do you get out of it? If it's like, oh, I guess that really didn't create much for me, well, I'm not going to dwell on it. I'm not going to make it significant. I'm not going to judge myself for it. What else is possible? And just keep making new choices. And not making anything significant is if you can do that, you are set. So, what possibility am I avoiding with the uncomfortable I am choosing? And who or what can contribute to me that would make my life easier today? I really like this saying, who or what can contribute to me that would make my life easier today? Saying this out loud and then just becoming aware of what is showing up around you. And not dismissing it and not making it significant. We always try to make things such a big deal, and nothing has to be a big deal. And we judge ourselves for the decisions that we make, and we think choices are right and choices are wrong. And that's where we really get hung up in rightness and wrongness of things. But there is no right choice and there is no wrong choice. There is only choice available, and people are going to tell you that that is right and that is wrong, and that is just their point of view. It doesn't matter how many people have a certain point of view. That doesn't make it right or wrong. So all you have to do is make a new choice. If you don't like the results of something that has shown up for you, just make a new choice. It is so much easier, you guys. Life is so much easier than we make it. The more and more aware I become, the more I realize how insane we are as humans. I've really been talking to my kids about that, because life can be so simple. And it's you just look at the population of people in general, and really comparing it to animals is something that I find so funny, because it's do you think birds would wake up in the morning and be like, I'm in a bad mood, I'm not gonna sing today, or I'm having a bad hair day? No, we think too much up here. We're always in our heads instead of being present with what's happening around us and being conscious and being aware. No, we're so stuck in our heads all the time. And like we're choosing things because we think we know what other people might think if we do. Like, how insane does that actually sound to you? Like, if you really stop and think about all the choices that we make for other people and like how we're supposed to feel about certain situations, like sad situations, tragic situations. Like, yeah, they're tragic and they're awful and they're sad, but does that mean like that the way other people think about things, we have to? Like, there's no right and wrong way of dealing with any situation, but we have made it up in our heads that there has to be. And so we don't honor ourselves, and we're not an allowance of ourselves because we don't think we deserve it, or we think we're being awful people by not by not acting like everybody else's, like by not like allowing ourselves happiness, like just because a bunch of people feel a certain way and we don't, we go into a wrongness of ourselves for that. And like, that is insane. We are the most important person in our life, and the way that we can best contribute to the world is by being us. Like, if you are not being who you truly be, how can you be the gift for others? Like, it's actually like so unkind to not be us, because we're just being a fake version of us. It's like we're not even a person. We're living in this made up reality. We're stuck in our head about what we think other people want us to be, when we have no idea like what that other person is thinking. It's just all what we're guessing. So I just like, it all baffles me so much. Like, it's like, the more aware I become, the more I see how insane this reality is. So what can we choose today for us? What else is possible that I haven't even considered? And what reality, if I were choosing my reality, what would I choose? That would be my one question to put out there today. If I were choosing my reality, what would I choose? If you were choosing for you and you took everything else out of the equation, all the stuff you've made up in your mind, made up or not, even if people are judging you, who gives a shit? Like, they're gonna anyway. So if you just become really present with yourself, what would you choose for you? What would you choose right now? What would you choose today? And who or what can contribute to me that would make my life easier today? And who or what can I contribute to that would create more for me? It's mind baffling, actually, all of it. Like, it really is so funny to me to realize what we do to ourselves in every moment of every day. From the moment we wake up and open our eyes, where our thoughts go, we aren't even aware of how many thoughts we are saying to ourselves that are hurtful and mean and judgmental. So the more aware you can become, the more you can choose for you, and the more of a contribution you can be to yourself and to the rest of the world. Oh, it's a lot to process. And this is why I really strongly encourage you to get your bars run. If you want to get your bars run, Kara and I run bars. Jan, Lloyd runs bars, and I will post the links or contact information. Please get your bars run. It takes out all this mumble jumble stuff that's going on in our brains, and it gets rid of it, goes back to the point where we created all these crazy thoughts, or whether we bought them from other people, and it allows us to just get rid of all of that and create space for new choice and new awareness. And journaling, like, there's so many things that we can do. Journaling is one of the best ways that I have found to get all this crazy stuff out of my head and realize how crazy all this stuff is, just by simply starting to write it down. As I'm writing, I'm like, oh my God, I can't believe, like, really? This is what I think? Like, we don't realize how crazy the stuff is that we believe until we A, talk about it with other people, B, write it down, and C, meditate on it. Like, meditate, get into getting really present. And as you try to, like, calm the mind and get your mind to be silent, you become aware of all these thoughts that come into your mind and enter your mind, and it's like, this is the shit that is going on in my head all the time. Like, what can I do to replace these thoughts? And one of my favorite sayings is, what stupidity are you using to avoid being as radically different as you could be? Are you choosing? So where are you cutting off who you truly be? Like, we are choosing this, you guys. We are choosing to be not as great as we can be for whatever reason. So what stupidity are you using to avoid being as radically different as you could be? Are you choosing? And one of the best ways you can start to discover the path to you is by Kara and my Practical Magic, the beginning. It's a 1-day workshop. I will post a link for it. And it's all the tools that can help you to get out of your insane head and become aware of what else is possible. We've got the School of Magic. We had our first one, and it's for kids. So it's like so awesome because kids don't have all these barriers up around them and all these points of views because they're so young. They have some that they've like got from us and like their peers and their teachers and everything else. But the School of Magic is so awesome because it's like teaching kids at such a young age to be empowered, to be them, to make choices for them. And yeah, we got lots of stuff. We've got group meditation and healing night, which we have tonight starting at 7:15 to 8:15. I'll post a link for that. We've got our morning coffee and ghost stories where we connect with the spirit world. We talk about tools to help you connect with the spirit world, and we dispel myths from all the crap we learn on TV and movies and the media, etc. We've got lots of cool stuff, and I've got a new website if you want to check out any more of that, www.happilyhuman.org. Oh, what else is possible, you guys? If anyone has any questions, please comment. Please contact me or Kara. We've got twin healing sessions where Kara and I will do a healing session on you using all sorts of different tools like Reiki, and we do the bars in that, tuning forks, crystals, sound therapy, everything. If anyone's interested in that, please get in touch with us. We're here to help. We're all connected. And the more we can contribute to each other, the more we can be ourselves, the better, the easier, the simpler life becomes. What else is possible that you haven't even considered? So have a magical, fantastic day, and I will see you all soon. Bye-bye.